So after completely feeling defeated by that Solera, because it's too late in the season for me to want to do it, not really wanting to keep this G6, but the fact that the car still runs and drives, and I still think the back end of this thing's going to be a weapon, I've devised? What's the word I'm looking for? Devised. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh my god, my phone. Devised a plan. That's the word. Devised. Sorry about the phone call. My cousin just blew up the transmission in her, I don't know, 2017 Dodge. But that's not my problem. Told her it's blown up. Stop driving. So we broke an axle because it was too short. So what we've done is we've cut an axle, and then we've got a spare axle, and then we got the other piece that's broken, and then I may have built these funky contraptions. What are these for? You guys are about to find out. So let's see what we can do. First steps first, take off the tire. Am I going to put that end in, or am I going to put this end in? We're going to put one of these ends inside the transmission. I'm honestly thinking that one because it's not broken. We'll probably start with that one. Even though the bushing's broken, I can cut my axle so it's a little bit longer. I've never cut and welded axles before, and I just kind of spoiled what I'm going to do. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Well, this isn't going to work. As soon as I took off the tire, the wheel bearing fell out of it. So maybe that makes sense why the axle was long enough, and then after a little bit of time, the axle wasn't long enough because the wheel bearing decided to stop doing its damn job. So now we have to put a new wheel bearing into this, and then this side here doesn't really feel that good either. So I think it needs 2 new wheel bearings, and if I'm going to do that, then I might as well buy the gray area brackets and put 4-cylinder stuff onto this, but then I might as well buy oh my god, this thing's getting out of control. So I'm going to ruin my damn plan here, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I was going to do. I was going to put this piece into the transmission, then I was going to cut this axle and slide it inside of this, and then I was going to take this axle and weld it to this axle, and then put my sleeve over top, and then weld my sleeve. But now none of that will work because of this wheel bearing. I probably could do like the man thing and ask one of my buddies to see if he's got a wheel bearing, or I could do like the thing that humans do, male humans do, and just go buy my own brand new parts for this thing, unfortunately. So I guess we're going to go to Rock Auto tonight. I wanted this thing to be a quick fix because I need a Camry in here and I need it built for, you know, next weekend for like the championships. So what we're probably going to do is just take this thing and throw it outside and put a damn tarp over it and call it a year for this car. And then next winter we'll pick it back up with the loader and bring it in. But tonight at work I'm going to go on Rock Auto and maybe see if I can get wheel bearings for this thing. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's what I'm going to have to do. So much for my plan. But we'll see. So after about 45 minutes of effing around, I got heat to this, I got this caliper off, got the disc off, that's a little heavy. This is the quality of GM wheel bearings, guys. Look at this. This one is actually in better shape than the other side. Yep, that's a premium wheel bearing there. So I think I need 2 wheel bearings for this car. We might not need to cut the axles. Maybe that's what happened to the other side, is the wheel bearing got so bad it pulled the axle out. I doubt it, but it could be. So what we're going to do now is we're going to contact my buddy Josh, who is, I think is the Lumina guy around me, and see if he's got any spare wheel bearings sitting around. I don't think he will. So other than that, we're going to go to Rock Auto, and we're going to buy some new wheel bearings for this thing, because I can't be going into a derby with this. This is horribly terrifying. So this project may be on hiatus for a bit. Might be put outside with some grease on some stuff so it doesn't rust, with all the parts thrown into a watertight bucket, but we'll get back to this, that's for sure. Let me figure out what I'm going to do tonight at work. Well, due to the fact of how much work this thing actually needs to get back in the ring, I don't think we're going to be fixing this year. It might go to the Winter Derby, I don't know. But needs all new wheel bearings put into it. not super excited for that, and they just fell apart. We're gonna take this out, and then we got a new surprise that we're gonna build. It's kind of gonna be a hack job, but we're gonna build it. So let me get this out, and then I'll show you what's gonna be in here, guys. So this is what we got taken to Fall Brawl. We are taking a pre-run Camry that I actually beat up inside the ring before. Steven, what is our plans for this car?
Uneddy it.
Uneddy it. So what do we mean by that? We need doubles because the last tires that Eddie ran were street stock slicks. So we are going to be putting some doubles on this. We're going to be seeing if the frame is bent anywhere because we can plate it if there is a bend. We got to put a window bar on. We need to clean up the wiring. I'm like, my God. You know, Eddie built this car. He did a good job. He's learned a lot. This guy here has come a long way, that's for sure. But we need to clean up some of this wiring. And then we need to put a battery into it, window bar, take out this brick. Maybe we'll keep it just to throw at people while we're inside the ring. There's a brick. We need to fix up the back of this car because it's still got all the brake discs on it. I don't like that. I think it's too much weight on the back of there, so we're going to pull off all the back brake discs. We're going to try to pull the back end, maybe hammer it a little bit away, get it to curl up just a little bit nicer in the back. Fix some trailing arms. We're going to save all these tires for Eddie. We're going to put our own tires on. These are 12s. I want to run these 14-inch donuts like you guys know that I love. So we're going to be putting those on there. Cage-wise, do you see anything right off the bat that screams, fix me? The shifter's in a nice high location. Again, just a lot of weird wiring that
I'm not going to rag on Eddie's welds.
No, Eddie.
They're not excellent, but...
Your welds get a pass today, buddy. But yeah, we're just going to go around this thing, and we're going to take some looks at it. He's already got a cage in it, which is nice, and the cage is pretty much to the maximum of the rules, which is really nice, because then we don't have to put a cage into it. Oh. I'm selling a car outside, and the guys are just revving it. That's okay. But, yeah, so... we're going to maybe take that wiring out. We can't run.
Just leave it.
Can't run with that wiring. That's why we're going to lose. All right, guys. Oh, that didn't go as well as I planned. That didn't go as well as I planned either. Let's get going on this car. So, first thing we're doing is taking apart the back end.
Typical.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Boop, boo, doo, doo. I don't know the song. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off. We're going to replace it. We're going to do something back here with this to here. Yeah, that's an easy fix, believe it or not. We're going to replace all this, make these as light as we can, and throw some different tires on the back of this. So that's our goal for back here. I'm going to help Steven do this, and we're going to go at her, okay, guys? So give us about 30 minutes, and we're going to try to attack the back of this car and see what we can do. The frame is going up. It's actually going down. We're going to have to jack that up a bit.
This side's okay.
That side's okay. Driver's side, passenger side, we're going to have to put the hoist on it once we get it back on the ground. I'm not going to straighten out the struts. I'm fine with them being bent. If anything, they probably won't bend anymore. So, let's get at her. So underneath the hood here, we've put a radiator in it, put loop lines into it. We've put a strut bar. We've put my doubles on it and got rid of Eddie's slicks. We saved his radiator because it's pretty much brand new, so we'll give it back to him. We still need to put an upper motor mount onto this thing. And yeah, so we still got little things left to do to it. Messaging the promoter about some rules about engine oil cooler. He says I can have it as long as it stays underneath the hood. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to put that in because that's a pretty big... Oh, my phone's going crazy. He's probably getting upset with me asking. We're not going to adjust the shifter. It seems to be pretty good. Back, we got all the brakes taken off, the trailing arm fixed. Easy fix, guys. New tires put on, and we're just going to start bending up the back end here shortly. But what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to start tackling the wiring inside of this car. Yeah. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to try to clean it up. We're going to try to make it kind of pretty. And you can't forget to take this brick out. Don't want this brick inside the car. And then, yeah, we're going to see how well this goes. So let's see what we can do here, guys. Just remember how this looks now. And we'll see if we can make this any better here in a few minutes. Okay, we've been working on this pretty much all day. We got the oil cooler put into it. I did check with him. He said the oil cooler's fine. So it's mounted back there. I'm going to throw a carpet over top of it. That way I just still have to wire it in. It's going to be a direct wire, negative, right to the ground. And then a little jumper cable that I hook up. So when the alternator dies, I just disconnect it. Got the wiring kind of cleaned up. There was a lot of wiring that I pulled out of here that didn't really do nothing. But wiring's kind of cleaned up. I want to zip tie it a little bit better. Still little things to do to the wiring. Got the fire extinguisher into it. Got my window bar onto it. I wrote a list of stuff that has to be done. 9-wire rad support, weld the bumper, rear subframe, rear tires. Subframe's all rotted, so I just want to throw some seat belts. Steven wants me to do plates. We're probably just going to do seat belts. Water in the radiator, bumpers. Oh, we did do an oil change to it too, and I've come up with a new problem. This tire doesn't turn. So we got to figure out why that one doesn't turn. I think the strut's just a little bit too folded over. The 9-wire in the doors, they're probably going to make me cut it, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, the car's coming along really good. I just had it running. I moved the map sensor because the map sensor was going to be an issue with where it was. Just got to zip tie it up so it doesn't give me any problems. And yeah, so the car's coming along. We've got 2 days left to build this thing. And just kind of feeling the stress here, guys. So we'll be back tomorrow with more building of this. Don't go anywhere because it's going to be the same video. Okay guys, we've got this car pretty much to the point where I think it's done. My list is all checked off except welding the bumper on better, but honestly I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm being lazy. Got the oil cooler on. I got the map sensor fixed. I got the transmission lines fixed. I got the oil change. I didn't put oil into this thing. Did I put oil in this thing? I think I put oil into this thing. It has oil in it, so I did put oil in from the oil change. I forgot. Just didn't want to do that again. We're going to be bringing a couple extra parts, like a loop line. I'm going to be bringing an extra oil filter just in case I do something to these cooler lines. We're going to be bringing some gasoline and a whole bunch of stuff like that. Maybe even an extra battery. Car's pretty much junk. We did a lot of work on the back end here last night. We got it all pulled up. We got a bumper put on the back. It says that if you put plates to hold the bumper on, they have to go to the frame rails. So this plate's to the frame rails and that one's to the frame rails. But she's all mounted up. She's ready to go. We got the tires pretty much straight now. That one's a little off. Not much we can do. But I'm super excited for this Derby. And, you know, a buddy of mine's coming in from a different province. You guys think that, you know, all my buddies come in from a different state. How long does it take you to drive to that state? That state's, what, 3-4 hours away? Unless you're in, like, Texas or Alaska or Hawaii. Your states are all pretty close together. But for my next buddy, my buddy that's the next province over, it's 24 hours almost to get to his house for me to drive. So I don't really get to see him that much. I did get to see him at Blizzard Bash last year. I'm going to see him at Blizzard Bash this year. I just may have let something out of the bag there, guys. So, yeah, I get to hang out with a couple buddies I haven't seen in a while. Super excited for that, and hopefully I have a fun time in this car. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm not going to paint it. I am going to put a different number on the side of it, though, and that's about all I am going to do to this thing. So I'm going to leave the Beaten Boys Racing on it. I'm going to leave Ripley's Auto on it. It's already got Zach's Workshop Getter bent on the hood. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you at the Derby.